What's going on, guys? It's Hi, and I'm very excited for this video because today we are going to be installing the Rexpeed carbon fiber spoiler onto the A90 Supra. This particular spoiler is installed with the included double-sided 3M tape, so no drilling is necessary. Installation can be as easy as sticking the spoiler in place. That being said, there are a few things that we can do to thoroughly prep the surface to ensure that the tape gives the best possible adhesion. First things first, we are going to wash the surface to get rid of any obvious dirt and debris. I'm using mcguire's Gold Class Car Shampoo. This is a simple, no frills product. It doesn't have any additional paint protection additives, and that's what we want. We don't want to use something like a wash and wax because it leaves behind some wax, and that can possibly prevent the 3M tape from adhering properly. Once we are done washing, the surface may look clean to the naked eye, but there may still be some contaminants present. To check for these contaminants, we can simply run our hand over the surface. You can also put your hand inside a thin plastic bag and run it across the surface. This will amplify your ability to feel the contaminants. If it feels bumpy, uneven, or doesn't feel as smooth as glass, then that means that there are contaminants that have embedded themselves into the paint. It's best to remove these contaminants now because if we don't, we are essentially trapping and protecting all of those contaminants. This will allow the contaminants to possibly spread and cause even more damage. I'm going to perform a two-step decontamination process. The first step is a chemical decontamination, and that involves using an iron or fallout remover. I'm using Adam's iron remover, and this product will help to remove ferrous metal particles that have embedded themselves into the paint. The iron remover reacts to these contaminants and indicate their presence by streaking and bleeding purple. As you can see, there is a good amount of bleeding on this trunk. This just goes to show that although we may not be able to see the contaminants, it doesn't mean that they are not there. After letting the iron remover sit and then thoroughly washing it off, we can move on to step 2 of the decontamination process, and that is mechanical decontamination. This involves clay barring the surface. I'll be using mcguire's professional detailing clay with mcguire's final inspection as a lube. The mechanical decontamination process will remove anything that's left over from the chemical decontamination stage and will leave the surface contaminant free. Lastly, we are going to hit the surface with an isopropyl alcohol mix. I'll be using Chemical Guy's Wipeout. This will remove any remaining residue and ensure that the surface is completely bare and ready for installation. Let's move on to the spoiler and also hit it with the IPA. We want to make sure that this surface is also clean and prepped. Now we can take the included 3M tape and apply it to the inside of the spoiler. When laying down the tape, I would advise you to create as complete of a seal as possible. Try to lay long strips of tape instead of small individual pieces. Try not to leave gaps between the various pieces of tape because that will allow water and debris to get in between the surfaces. We want to prevent any contaminants from collecting under the spoiler because it will be impossible to clean under there once the spoiler is installed. The inside of the spoiler has a raised lip. Lay the tape as close to this as possible. I found that by doing this, no tape was visible once the spoiler is on the trunk. It is a good idea to remove a portion of the tape's backing where it starts and ends. Use some other tape to stick the loose backing onto the other side of the spoiler. This will make it easier to remove the backing once the spoiler is on the vehicle. Properly align the spoiler on the trunk. Don't apply pressure until you are satisfied with the position. The 3M tape may stick to the surface, but at this point, it can still be lifted and repositioned. When adhering the spoiler to the vehicle, only remove a small portion of the tape backing at a time and apply pressure to the exposed section of tape. Don't pull the backing too hard or too fast as it can cause it to tear and make it very difficult to properly remove. Once all the backing is removed, go back and apply pressure to the taped areas and make sure that the spoiler is properly installed. And that's it. The Rexpeed carbon fiber spoiler is installed. So at this point, I would like to talk about this product for a bit. When we look at duckbill lip spoilers for the A90 Supras, the Rexpeed is among the cheapest. After getting this product in, I can completely see why that is. Corners were definitely cut. This thing is a 3-footer. It looks great from about 3 feet away, but once you get any closer, you start to see the poor craftsmanship. The clear coat or resin is filled with bubbles and other imperfections. It was as if the spoiler wasn't properly vacuumed to remove excess air. If you are building a show car, I would highly advise you to look elsewhere. By no means is this product show ready. But again, you have to remember that this is just about the cheapest option currently available. With that in mind, there has to be some give and take. Just understand what you are getting into. If you are looking for perfection, look elsewhere. If you don't mind some minor imperfections and are looking for something cheap, well, this is an option. I hope this video has helped you out. If it did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it around, comment down below with any thoughts or questions that you may have. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.